Could a Leonardo DiCaprio Joker save the DCEU? When it was announced last week that Goodfellas director and living legend Martin Scorsese would be producing an origin film for the clown prince of crime, the Joker, the internet seemed to fold in on itself in confusion. And now it seems as if all bets are off, as news has just broke that Warner Brothers is currently courting none other than Leonardo DiCaprio to slap on the white face paint and purple pimp suit.
I thought my jokes were bad.
In fact, according to The Hollywood Reporter, snagging DiCaprio was always the studio's game plan, and Scorsese was brought on just to secure him. Now, DiCaprio typically opts to headline movies with original screenplays from auteur directors, as opposed to signing on for franchises built out of existing properties. But of course, of all the auteurs he's acted for, his most famous and longest-lasting relationship has been with Scorsese. So the thinking goes that if Scorsese is willing to take the plunge into the world of comic book movies, DiCaprio will jump right in with him. Now, it's important to note that Scorsese's producing role has not been finalized, and the offer to DiCaprio is still just that, an offer. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but that doesn't mean the news isn't already causing a few waves in Hollywood, particularly with some other Jokers who are less than pleased to see DiCaprio stealing their thunder. Ooh, who could it be? According to reports, Jared Leto wasn't exactly grinning when he heard there's going to be more than one Mr. J on the screen. Some are even speculating that the reason his Harley and Joker movie was greenlit so quickly after the Scorsese Joker news broke was to keep Leto happy and remind him that just because Warner Brothers has a new Joker on the way, that doesn't mean they love his Joker any less. But still, two Jokers at once does seem like a little bit of bad news for the DCEU as a whole. It's hard to believe that Warner's has complete confidence in the universe if they're already creating brand new movies that don't connect to the franchise at all, but still star some of its most popular characters. And then, by the way, load up those new movies with much bigger talent. So really, is there any way two completely different Jokers can coexist? Well, actually, yes. And the comic books have already shown us how. In a recent storyline, Batman gained access to the Mobius chair, basically a lazy boy with complete access to all the knowledge in the universe, and when he asked it who the Joker was, he got a surprising answer. His arch nemesis wasn't just one person, it was three. Yes, there are apparently 3 Jokers in the DC comic book universe, but maybe the most significant detail about this plot twist is that it was masterminded by Jeff Johns, the same guy who's acting as the current story architect of the entire DC cinematic universe. So if Johns is already into the idea of multiple Jokers in the comics, who's to say that he wouldn't be into putting the idea up on the big screen as well? And the DiCaprio Joker movie could be the perfect way to enter it into the franchise. Now, we already know that movie will be set in the 80s, so he could be playing that universe's original Joker. And yes, for now it's a standalone film, but if it's incredibly popular, maybe we'd see parts of it start to slip into the present-day continuity. We really don't know that much about the history of Leto's Joker yet, so there's no reason he couldn't be a second-generation clown criminal inspired by the lunatic that he saw on the news every night as a kid growing up. It would be a cool way to expand the history of the DCEU while simultaneously sneaking some Oscar-caliber talent into it. The only person who could possibly object to that is probably Jared Leto. But what do you folks think? Are you excited for a DiCaprio Joker? Could we ever see him sneak into the DCEU proper? And also, why so serious? Leto's discuss. It's because you made me say the joke. It was your joke, B-Comp. And do you find yourself wishing that you had a show you could watch where 4 very funny and intelligent people sit around for a half an hour and chat about the latest news in the pop culture world? Well, you know what? So do we. But until then, you can watch Nerdist News Talks Back. It's our live show where we round up all the hottest topics in nerddom. You can catch it Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific on YouTube and ProjectAlpha.com. Be sure to like and subscribe and keep checking Nerdist.com.